Better up.
Rob and Chris, they're on the air. Yankees, Mets, they're everywhere. From the Bronx to Queens, the diamond gleams. MLB talk, the ultimate team. MLB is the place to be. Rob and Chris with the pitch you'll see. Swinging stats and stories fly. Baseball talk that's amplified.
And we're here. Hello, everybody. Rob and Chris with what we're going to do during the off season and the hot stove. We're going to do these updates when things happen. And Chris, you want to talk about what happened last night?
Hey, yeah. Devin Williams signs with the Mets. Another Yankee jumping ship and going to the Mets. Just like last year, you had Juan Soto and Holmes moving on to the Mets, and now you got Devin Williams. What are your thoughts? Because you're the Met fan. Like, are you happy about this? Do you think Diaz is not going to be signed now? What are your thoughts?
All right. Well, what everyone's saying, of course, is this is not going to affect Diaz, which we'll see. Diaz, if the Mets re-sign Diaz as the closer, then Williams will be the setup guy, which I prefer. If that's how it turns out, Chris, then I'm happy with the deal. Because look what happened last night with you guys, right? This season, actually. I keep saying last season, but it's this season. And Chris disappeared, so I'll talk.
I'm here.
Okay, he did. He closed and he was horrible. And he closed twice. He closed and they took him out of the role and then he went back. So I think if he's as the setup guy, then I love it. And I agree with you. Yep, love it if Diaz is back. No doubt about it. Love the trade if Diaz comes back. If Diaz does not come back and Williams is the closer, then I'm a little nervous there because Chris, you knew what happened this season. So what do you think? Since he closed for the Yankees, what do you think about the deal?
I think it's good for the Mets. First of all, worst case scenario, if they don't bring back Diaz, you do have a closer, right? Because before you didn't have a closer if Diaz doesn't return. So this is kind of like a backup plan, but it could be
Agreed.
Right. So I that's the way I look at it. At the very least, you got Devin Williams, who, you know what, if anybody knows him the best, it's David Stearns, right? From his Milwaukee days, he basically let Josh Hader go to make Devin Williams the closer, right? So, yeah, I think he would be better as the setup guy. I'm with Dan, but at the very least, you got a guy who can close games. Now, if Diaz does come back, this is one of the best 8-9 inning combos in baseball, right? So I think the Mets have to bring him back. I know Diaz wants 5 years. Obviously, that might not be able to, I don't know if any team is going to go that high for him. But you know what? Maybe the Mets could work this out, sign him 4 years with a 5th year team option or something. Or, if he gets a certain amount of innings or whatever in the first 4 years, maybe he gets that 5th year, something like that. But they have to work it out because that would be a dominating bullpen, and you still got Brooks Raley, AJ Minter when he gets healthy. Maybe they re-sign Tyler Rogers as well. That would be like the super bullpen of super bullpens, right? So that's how I look at it. So this is just the beginning. Diaz is still out there. Maybe Suarez could be brought in. You never know. So this is a good move.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is a good move, and yeah, I agree too. I'll hate it if Devin Williams is the main piece and he's the closer for the Mets, but it looks like the Mets are doing what they said they were going to do. They have to fix that bullpen, right? But they have to get Diaz back. To me, that's the key of anything. So do what you have to do to get Diaz back. This is a great move if they do sign Diaz. That's what I have to say about it. But let's look at the contract. 3-year, $51 million contract. Okay. That's great money if you could get it, Chris. He's a two-time All-Star, but with you guys last year, he went 4-6 with a 4.79 ERA in 67 games with the Yankees. He struck out 90. He walked 25. He was better, definitely better as a setup. And towards the last part of the season, the last 19 games, his ERA was 2.50. What else did he do, Chris? He changed the Yankees' facial hair policy. Why don't you talk about that for a second? How do you feel about that?
They should have never changed it to begin with for this guy. Should have been never changed for anybody. I'm sorry. Now they should change it back to the way it was to get things back to normal, because it made no sense changing it for that guy. I mean, it's already done. I don't think they'll go back, but yeah, it looks really stupid now because you changed it for a guy who did nothing for you during the regular season. At least the first half, he was really bad. Second half, he did get better. And, when you look at the outlining numbers, like the expected ERA is like 1.7 runs less than what his ERA ended up as. I think it was 4.7. His expected ERA was just over 3. So, some say it was bad luck, whatever it was. But still, the numbers don't lie. I mean, he was not good at the first half of the season. Second half, he did get better, but he also had his speed bumps in the second half too. But yeah, I mean, to change the hair policy for this one guy, I know they said it was a bunch of guys, talking about it and stuff, but still, it made no sense. I wish they would go back. I know they won't, but
yeah, you love the Yankee tradition. Like, you do not want to see the Yankees with names on the back of their uniforms and, a City Connect uniform. You don't want to see any of that.
No, definitely not.
Like, the stupidest thing you see is when you go to a Yankee game and somebody's wearing like a Babe Ruth jersey and it says Ruth on the back.
Yeah.
That's just
I hate anything but you know what? Listen, they sell them that way.
Yes.
The fans are going to buy them. So I can't say anything anymore. That's why in the beginning I did, but now that's all you see them selling a lot too, is the ones with the names on it. Now you got the advertisement on the sleeve and all that stuff, but it doesn't matter at this point. But I think it's telling, a little telling at least, that they're not, just saying, okay, let's get Diaz in, let's get Alonso back in. Like Dan is saying, yeah, they need Diaz and Alonso. But maybe the ownership is seeing that, listen, with next year coming up, we know with the work stoppage coming up, maybe they're seeing that there is a possibility that there is going to be a cap. And if there's going to be a cap, you can't just sign Diaz and Alonso without thinking about the cap, right? Because, those guys are going to cost a lot of money. When you think about it, if they sign Diaz to, Amon said 20 million, right? 4 years, 100 million. So 25 million. So if they sign him for 25 million a year and they're signing Devin Williams for 15, that means you're signing $40 million, or you're allocating $40 million for the next 3 years for the 8th and 9th inning. That's it, right? So that's a lot, I think, for $40 million, right?
Hey,
if there's no cap, who cares? But if there's a cap next year, I think that's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. But if there is no cap, pretty soon Cohen's going to also get that casino money coming in.
Oh, of course. So, he should. Yeah, he's going to be rolling. He's already rolling in the bucks, but now you add this to it. He should just sign these guys easily. But to me, that kind of shows us that possibly they think that there is a very good shot or chance at a cap coming.
Yeah, well, there, like we talked about all off season and all season about the cap and the floor. Something may give, or else there's going to be a long work shortage, and then it's going to be brutal. But let's talk about what you said. Stearns knows Williams the best, right? Yep. From the Brewers. 6 seasons with the Brewers as their closer, a 1.83 ERA with 68 saves until Pete Alonso took him out in the wild card series and took the Brewers out in 2024. Now, I'm hoping there's a chance they become teammates. Yes. Right now, it's very quiet on the Alonso. We talked about it yesterday the Red Sox. But other than that, Chris, it's still quiet with Alonso and Bellinger. Like, what's going on with the Yankees and Bellinger? Are the Yankees? How come you don't hear anything about the Yankees working on something, trying to get Bellinger back?
I think it's coming down to years, right? Like, he probably wants 6-7 years, and probably the Yankees are only offering him 4, maybe 5 years, right? So I think that's what it's coming down to. There's probably a gap. At least that's what's being reported with the years. So I think when that gets closer, then you'll see it, the Yankees, because he's definitely their number one, he's definitely their plan A. Like last year, this is what's crazy, right? Last year, the Yankees' plan A obviously was to bring back Soto, and the Mets sign him. This year, Bellinger is the plan A. And what if the Mets sign him, right? It would be like the same. It would be a carbon copy of last season, and they get a relief pitcher from the Yankees. Last year, they got Holmes. This year, they're going to get Williams. So it might be the same exact thing. He wants 6 years. I don't think the Yankees want to go that high, right? I mean, I can understand why. You're trying to stay away from the big contracts, for some of these guys. And think about it. Cody, he bounced back this year, but he's been kind of up and down his whole career. Yeah, he won an MVP a few years ago, back in 2019. But since then, he's never been that player. He's going to be a great defensive player, no matter where you put him in the outfield or at first base. But offensively, right? 272 batting average, 334 on base, 813 OPS, pretty good numbers. But you want to give a 6-year contract to, a guy at 30 years old now. He's going to be 31 in July. So that's a lot to give to a 6-year, to a going to be 31-year-old next season, a 6-year contract. So I think they want to go more 4 or 5 year, and we'll see,
Yeah, well, listen, this is just the start. See, this is stupid, and I put that on, and I didn't see it. There's always got to be an idiot out there, right? Imagine if Bellinger signs with another team and the Yankees lose out on Tucker. Their outfield will look like Spencer Jones, Grissom, Dominguez, and Judge. What do you think about that comment?
Right now, they're definitely, I think, one of the two out of Jones and Dominguez, I've been saying it, are going to be traded. I don't know who it's going to be, but I think they're going to find a left fielder, whether it's going to be Kyle Tucker or whether it's going to be Bellinger. If they don't get one of those guys, I think they're going to use someone here in a trade to get another guy, right? Because there's really not many options out there in free agency. But I don't think both are going to be on this team. I can't see them going into the regular season, with Dominguez and Jones in the outfield as your third and fourth outfielder. It just doesn't, to me. I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. And Dominguez is doing nothing down in, I think he's playing in the Dominican Republic right now in their league, and he hasn't been hitting well. So I don't know.
Well, like I said, we have, the winter meetings are next week. It's going to be, I think it's going to be better than last year, right? Last year it was sort of slow. I think things are heating up now. The Mets are definitely involved with a lot of stuff. It's going to just, I love the hot, I rather it be baseball season, of course, right?
Yeah.
But I love hot stove baseball, right?
Yeah, no, it is. I just wish there was like I know they've said it. I wish there was like a time frame on it. So you would get, you would get the moves a lot quicker, because now this could go all the way into February, right? We've seen that. We've seen players waited out all the way into February. I think last year Bregman didn't sign until January, February. So, and Bregman's going to be an option too. Like, can you imagine Alonso going to Boston and the Mets signing Bregman? And then and Bregman bringing all that, all experience. What he had with Boston and being with the Astros. Yeah, then the Yankee-Mets rivalry is going to heat up big time this year. It's going to heat up anyway now, but.
Yeah, and Chris, of course, I'm not talking about you, but already I'm seeing some of the Yankee fans out there crying. I mean, first of all, did you think Williams was coming back to the Yankees?
No, I didn't think he was coming back. Like, he did mention, like, he'd be, like you heard, he would be willing to come back to the Yankees. He would be willing to be a setup guy. I didn't think he was coming back for the Yankees with that. He signed with the Mets, and he even said he'll be willing to set up Diaz. Now, I wonder if they got a guy like Suarez instead of Diaz, because Suarez would probably be less years. Would they make Suarez the closer? Would it be a co-closing situation? Would Williams be okay setting him up? So that's going to be the big question mark there. But otherwise, I think this is a really good move for them.
Yeah, and I don't like that co-closer. I don't.
Yeah,
like
I know that never works.
Yeah, it never works. You want a closer, you want a solid closer. Listen, just sign Diaz. I don't know what's going to happen with Alonso. Once again, it's quiet. Who knows? I would love to see him finish his career with the Mets, but if he doesn't want to be there and he's another one, they're all just going after the biggest contract now. It's totally different than, when we were growing up. Baseball is different. Judge gave the Yankees a little discount, but after that, I don't know. I don't know if we're going to see that anymore. It looks like they're just all going for the highest bidder and they don't care where it is.
Yeah, loyalty is very rare in sports. Like we see it in every major sport, on every level, even in college. You see these kids jumping from college to college now with the nil money, and they're just chasing that money. So yeah, it is what it is. I think that's what sports is. It's a business, right? It's as simple as that. It's always been a business, but now the money is so much out there that you're just going to sign with the highest bidder. You'd like to play in a winner, obviously, in Williams. Yeah, obviously the Mets, they didn't make the playoffs last year, but they should be back in the playoffs this season. If nothing goes, horribly wrong like last year did. But yeah, I just, you know what? It's going to come down to money. It's going to come down to years, especially with bringing back Diaz, Alonso. They're going to wait it out, right? Because a team that doesn't get a closer. First base, I mean, there is nobody really available. After Alonso, even if you don't look at him as first base, there is no options, no good options at first. Like you got Josh Bell, Ryan O'Hearn, Rhys Hoskins, Carlos Santana, Justin Turner. That's what you got at first base right now.
Yeah,
that's free agent. So Alonso is going to be like, hey, I'm the best of this bunch. I'm going to sit back and wait for whoever needs a first baseman. And obviously the Mets do, right? They don't have a minor leaguer.
No.
Right? I don't come up at first. So
Chris, I don't want to see any experiments with Vientos or any of that stuff. I do not want to see anything. Just listen, right now, sign Diaz, sign Alonso, got to get that center fielder and toy around with everything else. Steve Cohen, listen, it's up to Steve Cohen. I don't care what anybody says about Stearns being small market, GM or vice president of baseball operations, whatever you want to say. I don't care about that stuff.
Right.
It comes down to what Steve Cohen wants, right? And remember, like we were talking about yesterday, he promised or he said he wanted a world championship by year 5. So if he's gonna get, listen, he's got to get this stuff done. He puts his money where his mouth is, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
no, he definitely does. Cohen, and he has to, because when he bought the team, what did he say? I want a World Series within 3 to 5 years, right?
Yeah,
this
3 to 5 years. Yeah.
Right. So this is it, right? And he's got the casino thing going now too. So he's got no excuse to say, we're gonna like basically what Hal is saying, like, oh, we're gonna try to lower payroll. That's ideal. He didn't say he wants to. He just said that's ideal. So
yes, and Ryan Clifford is in the farm system for first base. He needs one more season. So So you're right, and I don't know, but that's all I have, Chris. How about you? We just want to do a quick pop up, right?
Yeah, I think this is, and I think it's a good thing for the Mets signing Devin Williams, because now you're like, okay, now you don't have to be, I don't want to say desperate, but now you don't have to go, for Diaz if you don't, if the numbers get too high or something or whatever. Like there's no desperation for Diaz. You got a closer now. Now, if you bring Diaz in, now you got a supreme, back end of that bullpen with the guys that you already have too, right? So, but like you said, center field, first base, definitely. has to be out there. Left field too. I mean, and we got to look at the Yankees too, right? The Yankees got to start making some moves here, right? We need a left fielder. We need that right-handed bat for first and third.
Yeah.
And we need a starting pitcher. So, maybe the Japanese guy Amai will come off the book soon, come off the board soon, and we'll see.
Yep, we definitely will. But we'll be back Friday night, unless something else crazy happens. Then we'll be back with an update whenever it happens. So Friday night, 9 p.m. Remember, not 10 p.m. I think we're going to have a guest. I will get back to you. And we appreciate it. Listen, for a pop-up show, we got a pretty good amount of people that checked us out at 12:30 in the afternoon. So we appreciate you guys.
Yes.
And Chris, we'll see everybody on Friday at 9 p.m.
Sounds good.